Today we're going to show you how to replace the rear motor on the Phantom 2.0 using only the tools available in the toolkit included inside the box. The 3mm Allen key, the 2.5mm Allen key, and lastly the wrench and the 21mm socket. That's all you're going to need to replace the motor. So first we're going to use a 2.5mm Allen key, and I'm going to be removing all the screws at the bottom of the fender. Now that the 4 screws are removed, the next step is to remove the screws holding the bracket of the fenders in place. For this, I can reach them from the top, and I can remove the little rubber cap that is here to have a direct access to the screw. What we're showing you is if you need to remove the fender bracket as well. If you don't need to, just changing the plastic part, we would recommend to just undo these little screws here. The difference is that to remove the bracket, you need to remove the caliper, but if you don't need to, you can just remove those one and the one in the front and take the fender out. So now we're gonna go the long way and show you how to remove the caliper as well. So I'm gonna use a 3mm Allen key to go remove the caliper from the bracket right here. And you don't need to remove the brake line to do so. Now that the screws are removed, I can simply lift the caliper and I'll gain access to that screw that was located under to remove the fender bracket. And that's it. This is how you change the fender. Once again, if you don't need to remove the fender bracket, don't do it. So now you'll gain access to the motor. This is pretty straightforward to remove. The first step is to remove those rubber cap on each side. To do so, you can grab an Allen key, jam it at the tip here and simply lift, and it's gonna come out. Then for the wheels, we included the tool in the toolkit with a 21mm wrench socket, and I'll simply go here and turn counterclockwise. I'll loosen the one on the other side as well. There might be a lot of Loctite, so it's normal that it's gonna be hard to undo. Before removing the wheel, I'm going to locate the motor connector on the left side and turn the ring counterclockwise, and this is an easy plug connector for the motor to allow you to remove it very easily. So looking forward, I'm going to turn that middle ring up, so towards the right side, counterclockwise. Once this little wheel is fully out, I can then simply bend the controller downward and pull down, or even easier, remove both nuts on each side of the wheel and pull it out at the same time, and the connector is going to come out by itself. This ring might be hard to twist, you know, with all the dust, the dirt, maybe it can jam this connector. So for me, I was able to pull it down just a little bit to give me more leverage, and then I would be able to use some pliers and just grab it here and turn it counterclockwise. So you see here, turning it counterclockwise, now it's loose, and I'm going to need to just pull out the wheel once I undo both nuts. Then I'm removing the other nut on the right side. There it is. And now I just need to slide the motor out like this. And note that there's some washers here with a little dent. Note their position. It's important to put them back before putting the wheel back. They should be facing back with the pin going up. This is in case the nut becomes loose. This washer will still hold it in place. So I'll just shake it left to right, and you see it comes right off because I undid this connector before. So there you have it. This is how you replace the motor on the Phantom 2.0. If you have to replace the disc or the tire, it's the same principle. You remove it and then you replace the component. So now we'd be ready to put back the new motors in place. It is important to note that inside the connectors, there's a way to put it. You have the phase wire, you have the sensor wire. It needs to go back the exact same way. To ensure that there's only one way to put it, there is one of the branch. You see there's 1 branch, 2 branch, and 3 branch. One of them is bigger here at the top. And this is a slot to align in the other connector. So make sure that when you look at the other connector, you see the slot and you're gonna put it back the same way. Okay, so I align with the washers inside, everything goes in smoothly. And then I'm gonna use the opportunity to connect the connector at that moment to make it easier for me. I'll bring the wheel a bit closer. Make sure the connectors goes in properly. And note that you should not force the connector in. If you try to force it, it means that it's not properly aligned. So here I'm pushing the wheel at the same time as connecting it. Then I'm gonna twist the middle ring to ensure that everything is waterproof and well connected. Make sure the tire is fully in. And also when you install it, make sure that the motor wire is facing down, not up here. This will ensure that you have the right length. The front motor and the rear motor don't have the same cable length, so make sure you don't swap them during the process, because it's not gonna work when you try to put it back in. Then I would apply blue or red Loctite. We always recommend red one at the office. You would put it on the shaft of each motor, put back the nut, and I just need to make sure the motor is fully in. It cannot go further in the front. And this, you need to go as hard as you can to tighten them. If you want the proper torque for any screws on the scooter, they're all listed on the first page of the screw sheet included inside the toolkit. So for this one, I'm gonna look for a wheel nut, 25 Newton meter. That's what it needs to be. Then I can take the rubber cap and put it back over the nut, like this. Then the next step is to put back the fender in place before putting the caliper. I'm gonna align all the holes. And at this point, I'm only putting the screws a little bit in to hold the fender in place, but I'm keeping them loose to allow me to move the bracket to center them with the holes of the rear screw. And the last step will be to put back the brake caliper in place. Hopefully the adjustment didn't move. And I'm gonna finish it with the manual tool, like this. And now I can add the little rubber plug to cover those holes. And that's it.